Namaskar. Good evening. Hello to one and all who is watching, and a warm welcome, a very warm welcome to the third episode for Upaj, Candid Conversations with Young Maestros. This interview series was conceived by my good friend Shri Anirban Bhattacharya ji, as he likes to call himself, um, a very promising violinist, along with Shri Swarnabha Gupta, an ace guitarist, and yours truly. Uh, Today's interview features our guest, Shri Debapriya Adhikary, who is uh, a young star, a vocalist, and let me say this that even though this is episode 3, I always would insist that this is a continuation of episode 2, because the artist who had been interviewed by Shonnabho in the last interview and the artist who is being interviewed by me today are, what I understood, what I comprehended, the same soul in two different bodies. Am I right, Devapriya?
True, you can say that. Thank you for appreciating that way. And if we could have made you feel like that, it's really an achievement for us also.
My audio just went off, and so did the camera. That is okay. My audio
Can you
and
hear
camera.
me, Chitrayudh?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you, Devapriya?
Yes, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
That is okay. We can do without my face. You are the guest. You are the star attraction. So we can
No.
continue like
But
that.
you have to be there. No worries.
Okay. Mr. Debapriya Adhikary was initially trained by his mother, and thereafter he learned Khayal from Pandit Samaresh Chaudhary, and he has had a very successful collaboration with another young star, a virtuosic sitar player, Shri Samanvay Sarkar, and thereafter he got the golden opportunity to learn from Thumri Queen Srimati Girija Devi ji, and that is primarily what we know of him. That is primarily what we know about him. So today I'll attempt in eliciting various answers, things you haven't known about him previously, things I just got to know last night, and many other things from him. I'll ask questions as I can. And I must say that I had to personally study the last interview with Swarnabha very thoroughly so as to frame my own questions for today's interview. So, shall we start? My first question to you is, how did your journey as a vocalist begin? What were the first lessons that were taught to you?
It's very tough to say what were the first lessons taught to me because as my mother used to sing, and in spite of all the family roles she played
Right.
throughout her life, she has been playing actually still now. Uh, it was I can't remember when I actually studied saregama. Means it came in
Oh, right.
just naturally, you know. So it was not I would say a progression of that. Okay, you sit and learn. It was not so. It just came in, and I started that. So it's very tough for me to say that how did I start, and so that was the thing because it was in the air everywhere because she
Right.
was the one who initiated me in the music into music, and basically, if I say when she noticed something that okay, he is catching things, he has been responding, then it came in her mind that okay, what I couldn't do, I can actually pass on to him, and that can be my dream can be actually fulfilled. that way. So she remained, and she is still always after me. Even still, I got scolds for things not doing
I
or doing
see.
whatever happens, you know. So uh, even uh, if I'm away or I'm in Kolkata, she stays in Sindri, in my birthplace. So she
Right.
would give me a call every day, and she would ask me, "Did I have I practiced or not? Have I
Right.
done my riyaz or not?" Because she knows that I'm into multiple things. I'm in teaching. I'm this. I'm doing. But I did my riyaz or not today? That is her first question. So that is always there. So that's how I started, and I, I I I still don't remember what is the first song I learned, but yes, there was Saraswati Bandana,
Oh.
which I learned from her, and that was by her guru. It was composed by her guru, Pandit Jivnath Jhaji of Bhagalpur. He used to stay in Sindri. I was born and brought up in Sindri. So, and those were really intricate compositions. So I was not means I didn't get a lesson starting with like the Sare Gama. Okay, you see, this is a simple thing. This is a simple composition, and this and that. I started with always intricate things, and that was my journey. So I
Right.
knew that I have to catch up these things. That's all.
But you did have a very rich ambience in your household, because of which you could imbibe and internalize the music, no matter how intricate it might have been, right?
Yes, it was means I never felt like that this is very intricate or this is very tough thing, because that was the
Right.
natural thing for me, because I used to hear that every day, you know. Means in spite of she was a working lady, she was an accounts officer at Fertilizer Corporation of India Limited,
Wow.
and we had a joint family. And you know, in our house, I would say in our family, every day there was a meal for four. Means not ever for four. Means we two brothers and mom and papa. We have uncles, we have dadu, takuma, and all everybody. And so every day, four times she used to cook, in spite of having
Right.
the work and things. And then she used to take care of my singing. And when I went to Guruji, then it became another challenge, because it was not only her, because she could have actually neglected that. Okay, today I can give a little bit of leave. Since when I went to Guruji, it became more strict from her side also. So
Right.
it was always there. Means it was in the air that. But yes, you know, family is family. Family after
Right.
all. My my grandma used to say, "Okay, don't torture him that way. He's just a kid," and that and this.
Right. Right.
So you know how it happens with grandparents.
Right. It is only because of this, the hard work and the tremendous sacrifices that she has made is why, because why you are where you are today, right?
Yes, in fact, I would say, and my father always supported her decisions, her thoughts, and her opinions, because he had full faith that I know is whatever decisions is being taken was being taken by her would be right for the family and for his children.
Right. Right. Now about your guru, as you had just mentioned him, Pandit Samaresh Chaudhary ji. What was your
Yes.
experience under him? A defining feature of his music was the resonance or joari in his voice, and the way he approached Laikari with sargams, which was the stuff of legends. Uh, how have you tried to incorporate these elements in your singing? Did you have to struggle with any particular aspect of his singing? If yes, then how did you overcome it? Because then things got more complicated as you went to your guru.
You know, as I said, when I went to him, I was 8 years old, eight, just at the brink of nine. Okay. So at my stage, I was not at any point of understanding that this is hard or this is not my cup of tea. Okay, uh, but as I said, that my mother used to go on every describing every subtle things whichever I used to learn from him at the class, because I used to travel from Sindri, which is almost not 300, but 253, 254 kilometers away from Durgapur, where my Guruji used to go
Right.
to teach. And he had a an institution and the class over there. So I got that opportunity easily. Otherwise, it might have been tough for me to come over to Kolkata all the time, every time. But I used to come after '98. I used to stay with him at means after my Ganda Bandhan. So as you pointed out about his voice, about his that the power and everything, whatever he in actually an amalgamation of everything in his music. No, I was always astonished and amazed with everything. Means to me, he was like a god. Means after my
Absolutely.
parents, if I means he was like an idol, you know. So I never looked at anybody else for 10 years. I would say I never ever hardly heard anyone else other than my Guruji. Never. Means
That is a very important practice, actually.
yes, that is very important
It keeps you
practice because that
focused.
doesn't. Yes, so for any musician or any student of music, I would say you must have to follow your guru for 10 years blindly. And it
Right.
is important. You can't go on just moving here and there, judging people and getting distracted because you have to have a very strong foundation. And that made my foundation very strong with him.
Right.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
every way, if I wouldn't have understood anything well, so my mother used to guide me that okay, this is how it is happening. Guruji is saying this, so you have to follow this way. So rather, I would say when I went to him, he found me very timid and very
Okay.
very small to understand. So he told my mother that okay, I can actually ask him to go to one of any of my senior students to learn, and then I can take him after a while. So my mother, as I said, that she was a very willful lady, and she said that Guruji, I'll be coming from very far, so I will have to have him with you. Means if you teach him, then I'll come. Otherwise, I would take it that as a no. So on her rigid point, my Guruji said, "Okay, I'll check for 6 months." Okay, so but as I said, that stubborn thing and that willful attitude of my mother pushed me hard, and not 6 months, in 3 months, I turned up. I shown her that that eligibility to be with him and to learn for long 14 years. I got his tutelage. So, and he was impressed. And then it started on, and I started grabbing whatever my wisdom could allow me, my wisdom could help me. And it was a great journey. In fact, I not only music, saw him as a person very godly in every way. He was
Right.
very
Hello, Devapriyoda.
Yeah, I'm sorry when something happened. This is another hitch of the internet things. But yeah,
Right.
we have to deal with that. Anyways, just hang
Was
on.
it a power cut?
No, it's not a power cut. I don't know what happened, but it
Okay,
happened.
okay. Continue.
Anyways, I can't see you, Chitrayudh. I'd be happy to see your face, please. If you can
My
just.
camera is not cooperating with me,
Oh, really?
so it went off
Okay.
on its own.
Okay. No worries. Yeah, so as I was telling that we spent great time, with him uh, every way, and we had, means he was a lover of food, and he used to feed people
Oh,
also.
I see.
Actually, we had marvelous time with him. Very a memorable time, I would say. Yeah.
Right. And I get to hear from people that every artist, every guru, as we say in Hindustani, has his own awaz lagane ka tarika. So, my following question is: how do you approach the subject of voice culture and voice training? How should a student develop tonal quality, breath control, pitch perfection, range, speed control, volume control, and proper diction? How should one take care of one's vocal cords according to you? Um, Devapriya is having some trouble. Well, I hope he'll join us once again very soon. Kindly bear with us till Devapriya can rejoin us in this conversation. Devapriya,
Yes,
once
can you
again.
hear me? I'm sorry, means I don't know what happened. Means I was
I can hear
disconnected.
you. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, good. I can hear you. Yes. Yeah.
Uh,
Hello.
yes, you just froze,
Yes,
but you
can
can
you,
continue.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question again, please?
How do you approach the subject of voice culture and voice training? How should a student develop tonal quality, breath control, pitch perfection, range, speed control, volume control, and proper diction? How should one take care of one's vocal cords according to you?
You know, vocal cords, if I'd say, as it's the most powerful instrument on earth, is the most subtle instrument too. So when we get to do something about the vocal cords, we must have to, one has to be uh, following the proper process of voice culture, which needs your what would I say? Means the most importantly, you have to get through. Just hang on. Just hang on. Take this. So the most important thing of the voice culture is you have to take it subtly. You can't start practicing anything very harsh. As we do warm ups in body, while exercising, we first do warm ups, and then we go for very hard exercises. So same thing happens with the vocal cords also. When we take care of that, when we give it, when we really want to play with that, we must have to have an understanding of doing things subtly, subtly. So that subtlety is very much needed, and that subtlety starts with your practice with mild executions, mild voice productions. So it can be like with omkar, it can be with hakar, it can be like with just humming or so. And as you said, that how to develop the range. The range comes with the understanding of the proper practice, of the science behind it, because our vocal cords actually uh, are surrounded by also the muscle groups over here. So how you place
Right.
those, how you work on those, how you place your tongue, how you actually work on the jawline, the jaw and the production and the muscles over here. Everything has a role to develop your range. So when we practice, like we say that do courage practice. Okay, how much courage is needed? Means
Right.
courage can also dry up your voice if you don't know the proper process to do it. And if you know the proper process to do it, it develops and it works like a push to develop the range of your voice. And for that, you must have to have an understanding of the right pitch to practice, the right pitch to start doing your practice.
Right.
So that way, these are very essential things which sometimes people get and from gurus and also with their own studies, own research. So I'm fortunate, I would say, with my Guruji, Maestro Guruji, I had got the very intricate understanding of the voice culture. And then I did, and also a few things from my mother, which are really rare to know. And then with Appaji, we would move on to her.
Right.
So everything, moved on in a different way. Means I culminated those things together to do whatever I'm doing today.
Right. I'd request every student of music to take note because this was very educative, very informative. And I just got to know last night that
It's needed, very needed. Yeah.
you have been certified as a fitness trainer. And I just received those certificates from you uh, very recently. Uh, would you like to comment on that? Because there are students of music who also pursue fitness, and oftentimes they're discouraged that pursuing fitness, going to the gymnasium, can adversely affect their voice. Their singing voice and their tonal quality might be negatively affected. And on the other hand, I have an observation that musicians in general probably have the most unhealthy lifestyle ever. So we do need Devapriya once again.
Yes, actually, there are, as we do practice music and for the voice things, or if we
Right.
do uh, practice for the body also, everything needs a proper understanding and proper knowledge of the form and techniques. So if you learn uh, even to play tabla or sitar or sarod or anything, you have to have an good understanding, good fundamentals, good knowledge about the fundamentals to execute things, right?
Right.
So for the execution of voice also, you must have to have a knowledge that, okay, how much I need to give force, how much I need to actually pass on the wind, to pass on the air through the vocal cords, and how much pressure I should give. I have to feel everything. So in the same way, when we do fitness practice, if you are it's a complete myth that it hardens your voice, it hardens your body, who are the instrumentalists, because they're not aware of the right form and techniques. So anything without a particular knowledge, a right knowledge, is going to harm you. Even if you do, if since in early morning, if you start doing gamak practice or a halak larish practice, you're going to spoil your voice.
Right.
Similarly, in body, on the body also, the impacts happen that way. If you don't
Right.
practice the things properly, if you don't have a proper knowledge of the form and technique, that okay, I'm going to do this very exercise. So what are the muscle groups getting involved, and what is the technique I should use?
Right.
So for that, you need to have a mentor. You need to have a proper study. If you need to have a proper academic, or an understanding of the have to go through that fitness regime, so
Right.
that you get into that and you get closer to that. So that is important. So it's complete myth, I would say. And I did this course because to especially to I would say enlighten, but especially to let musicians know about the benefits of fitness, uh, fitness practice and understanding fitness science. So I'm
Right.
welcoming everyone that okay, you need to work out, you need to know, understand, because I have shown them that okay, you see, I do this, I do this deadlift, I do this squats, I do this, the exercises, whatever I'm doing, and still my voice moves here and there softly.
Right. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah, so that is because of the proper knowledge which I have got from my academy, from my mentors.
Right.
So that is how you grow. Means it's the same thing with music also. So if you don't know what to practice, because people would say, how many hours should I practice? अरे भैया पहले जानो कि क्या practice करें. What should I
Right.
practice? How many hours are not that important than what are the elements I should practice. Somebody can do things in 3 hours, and somebody can do in 8 hours, or somebody can't do even in 8 hours or in whole life. That's because of the particular and the perfect knowledge about things. That okay, this much thing. Yes, but the talent is also a different part. It can be added that way. But at the same time, hard work never fails you.
Right.
Knowledge never cheats you. If you have a perfect,
Exactly.
correct knowledge, that knowledge is going to bless you today or tomorrow. You just have to have patience that way. That is that, but you have to gather that right knowledge. Now, people would ask, how do I know what is the right knowledge? For that, you must have to develop that conscience and that consciousness. You have to urge for it. You have to attract that very thing. You know, you have to actually uh, really, really, really attract that. Pray for it. That okay, I want this. I have to know this, and it will come to you definitely. As music gives you that way. Music actually empowers you that way. Yeah,
Well, congratulations on reconciling your equally successful pursuit of a good voice with that of a good body. And you were talking about hard work. Now we shall go on to smart work. So, what is your take on Riyaz for the body and Riyaz for the mind? How should a student think about his music? There is what to think and there is how to think. Two very different things, right?
true. Because what tells about the science and how tells about the arts.
Right. Kya
Okay,
baat? Kya baat?
so and so both has to have a proper and parallel things. Means, but yes, the what is needed to be understood first, and then how comes, and then it goes parallelly. So it develops. I'm thankful to all my friends who are commenting. Samanway is there, Shaurojit, then Ankita and others. And Shorobrato Mihirji, Namaskar. Thanks for being with us. And really glad to have you all in my chat. Smitaji, namaste. So, what is whatever you are being told by Guru, and this is this is the only oral tradition on earth. This Indian custom, Indian culture is so deep rooted that Indian culture has its roots in a great prehistoric civilization. So music and poetry were always the light breath of the civilization, right? So
Right.
the antiquity of Indian culture is proverbial.
Right.
So that has to be understood. So music in India was deeply associated with some religious and social life of the people. It is still the handmade religion, right? So the
Right.
Vedas and the Puranas and the tantric things, wherever you go, and other music was an ancient literature of India are full reference to music. So it is always there. So and a student of music must follow what is being told. Don't get distracted. If you
Right.
have chosen somebody your guru, submit yourself with full faith. And yes, as we search for gurus, good gurus also search for good chelas,
Absolutely, absolutely.
to carry on this legacy. So there are good gurus, definitely. It's not so that, okay, it has become a business. People say, oh, this is the business, this is that. No, 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 this is not that thing. If you see that way, they have some experiences. They have gone through a lot of experiences. We being musicians, we have been practicing, we have been learning, and still we are students of music. Means with experience and things, people change their minds, their attitude, but it is not extinct. At we can't say that this is dead. That parampara is dead. No, it cannot be. It's deeply rooted in this culture. It
Right,
is you, how much you
right,
are capable of grabbing, how much you are grateful. So that
right,
is important. So what, as I said, that okay, what is being told in the oral tradition, and also at some extent how is getting told too, but that how after a while takes the path a little ahead than what, and there comes the aesthetic beauty, there comes the what we call beyond horizon, when a musician becomes an artist.
absolutely.
Yeah, everybody is a musician, but everybody is not an artist. Nowadays, everybody calls themselves an artist.
Correct.
I'm sorry, there is a huge difference between a musician and an artist, and it's a huge journey from to be an artist from a musician. It's a huge jump,
Right,
and that is where the how, this how element which you asked me works.
right. Absolutely.
So what and how goes together, but after a while, this how takes the lead, because
Wow.
you are here
Wow.
to create beauty after a while. So now you are like a mukt bihang. Now you fly, but you have to know your roots so that you can come back. So that is your
Right,
house, that is a home.
right,
So the understanding, what are the conclusion of this is, so learn properly, be devoted, submit yourself, and as someone wrote here, that is Gurumukhi Vidya. Yes, it's the oldest oral tradition of this music form, and it's really, really, really something. We should be grateful. We should be always like natmastak to it, to our
right,
gurus, to the age-old gurus, because our gurus also, passed on the things which has been channelized to them, and still we have been doing, or we have been performing. There is something which is channelizing that energy through us,
right.
and that's what we are presenting.
Absolutely.
So gurus, it goes on above and above, and this is
Right,
how it is going. If you believe in the incarnation of soul and rebirth, then you'll find the circle is the same people are coming and going, that's all.
right.
Yeah,
Now, coming on to Samanveda, who had just commented very
yeah.
graciously, you have a very successful chemistry with Sri Samanvay Sarkar, your co-musician on stage. So, how did it start off? What made you decide to pursue a rather uncommon format of presentation like sitar and vocals in a jugalbandi? As a vocalist, how have you sought common ground with the aesthetic of the instrumental style?
You know, the first and foremost thing which I would say, that the idea of melody is voiced in the definition of raga itself.
Right,
As we know that we call it like yo yayam dhvani vishestu swaravarna vibhushita and ranjako janachittanam se raga kathyate budhay. Right? So rag is the common element. So there is nothing uncommon between us. And second thing is our friendship. As human being, uh, we could react on same things together. We could, and we can still, we can visualize same things together. we can uh, think some things together. You know, one of my students asked me once that, sir, why, how could you, how could, both of you could, means he's a bit matured. I'm naming him his Swaroop Chatterjee. So he said that, how could you come to a point without looking at each other? I said, there is nothing to look at when you are actually attached this way with heart and mind and with your souls. You don't have to think about uh, okay, where to come. Should we give a sign to him or not? You won't believe. I'm not at all saying this just to say over here. A lot of things happened. We smile later after when we used to used to listen to the concerts after the concert happened, real concert happened. And how did you do it together? Means it was not planned anything. Means it came just okay that it happened, because it's a kind of telepathy. It's a kind of mutual respect and the love. That love element works with your audience even. You don't know who is sitting in front of you. But
Right.
if you want that, okay, I'm going to spread love and I'm going to really, really, really bless them with love, then it happens that way. And the same thing happened with us, because we became first good friends. And the most, uh, which is sometimes protective also, and which is also bad, which is also the worst thing, I would say. That's the ego element. You have to keep it aside always, because we
Right.
human beings, you know, we all are human beings, so everything is there inside us, good, bad, ego, pride, love, softness, subtlety, and everything. But you have to actually filter a lot of things to come to a point where we can say that this is artistry.
Right.
So even if you are a soloist on stage, you have to keep aside that ego. Well, that's
Right.
what we felt together. And yes, our learning together uh, enriched us, enriched our mind in the same directions also. And as you said, as you asked me, what are the common, uncommon or common things? The uncommon thing is uh, we have two bodies. That's all.
Right. But
And,
then, how did you
and
blend the two media, the media of the voice for articulating the music and the media of the sitar for articulating the same music?
because we never planned it. It didn't happen as a planned thing.
Right.
Okay, but it was not a planned project at all. It's definitely a unique project which has been appreciated, blessed, praised
Right.
by people around the
Absolutely.
globe, by stalwarts around the globe. But it was not a planned thing at all. I'm telling you, till today we don't plan anything. Means it happened.
Wow.
We used to practice together. That's all. Means when I shifted here on my Guruji's urge, that okay, I stood first in All India Radio Music Competition at the national level in 2002, and so my Guruji asked me to come over to Kolkata for professional things and all. And we were also going through some changes in social, and there were some political, industrial changes in our township in Sindri. So we had to take a call. So my mother decided that okay, we should shift or not. Then I said okay, no, we should go. We should shift. I was in standard 12 then. I just started studying graduation and my bachelor's degree. Means I was pursuing that. So then me and Sam, we met at my Guruji's place where he was supposed to play, and I was also supposed to sing. So that's how we met together, and we became friends. You know, same age, same thing,
Right. Right.
and so guys together like chit chat like that. And I used to call him from Sindri also before coming over here. And then when I shifted, we spent a lot of times together with music, with other things, with books, with literature. He's a bookish person. He can finish books like anything. I'm not that fast, but still I
Okay.
read, and still I read, and he used to tell me that, okay, you read this book, you read that book, and this and that. And so I used to show him my mother's collection. That my mother was also a good reader always, but she liked that, okay, he's at least he's reading something now, and there's more with someone, right? And so we and I. I'm also a bit a technical person in that way. I used to study also not only literature, go through a lot of technical aspects of music, technical things of and technical aspects of other science. That also drove me towards fitness study and all, you know. So that's how we our thoughts, our opinions, and our food habits. Also, that's another point. We like to eat a lot of same foods. So when we travel together,
Oh,
we
I
never
see.
faced any challenges. We never faced any challenges on food, on likings, dislikings. So perhaps the divine or the universe had some plans,
Right.
so they brought us together.
Yes,
And
food can
learning
create a
with
very strong
Ampaji.
bond.
Oh yes, yeah. And I went to Kumar Babu also because of him.
Right.
And though officially he was not officially means because it was not like official learning also, but he was definitely an eye opener. And I went to him because of someone. Right? Also to Appaji, he recommended to my mom that uh, go to someone who is really means above or beyond age experience learning everything of our
Right.
guruji's age. So yes, the chemistry got made naturally.
Right.
So someone
So
who
it
is,
was
I think,
an incident of sheer serendipity that brought you two together, and there has never been any looking back since then.
yes, we have seen a
Right.
lot of springs together and a lot of summers together also, scorching summer.
Okay. Okay. The next question.
Yes.
You have had the great fortune of learning from Tumri Queen Srimati Girija Devi ji. What was the learning experience like? Would you like to share any particular incident in a class that you cherish to this day?
In one word, divine.
Absolutely.
She was an incarnation of divinity in every way. You know, being a human being, as I said, that everybody has their goods, bads, and everything. Even when Lord Vishnu, if we study and know, when he incarnated as as a human being, as a human, I mean, we took the human form, we judged him with a lot of things that okay, this is how Krishna did that, Krishna did do this and that, but those have meanings. But the same way, when we see her, we can just only think one thing, that the divinity in her, and that she made us look into music or see music, not to learn or sing or perform. So she lived music in every way, and that got passed on. She induced that this is what you need, you should be seeing. And though she has been regarded as Queen of Tumri, as oh, someone already wrote. You see, I was going to say
Right.
this, and we learned enormous khayal bandishes from her,
Oh,
you know,
some of the
and
rarest of traditional bandishes.
yes, rarest bandishes, rarest ragas, and very intricate things, very intricate compositions and different tals and different other rags. So it's a huge experience. You might be knowing that we made a film on her, right?
Yes,
And
exactly.
that film was another experience to explore her, to explore the beauty, to explore the persona of Girija Devi. So I
Yes.
wrote somewhere that if I remove that uh, the word Girija Devi, that Girija Devi emotion, the Girija Devi emotion itself, then I think we'll be feeling that the music is somehow getting deprived of. So the
Right.
Girija Devi, if I call it, it's an expression in house in itself.
Right.
So like we have sad feeling, we have happy feeling, we have angry, we have this. So Girija Devi in a way is a feeling. So that's how
Absolutely.
we felt, and we lived, and we still live. And it was amazing, with all of our gurus. Means
Right.
it was an eye-opening thing. I would say, Chitrayudh, that every room with gurus means we got things gradually lit up like anything. And
Wow.
now, okay, this has been decorated. Now the next move. This has been decorated. Now the next move.
This is a beautiful
Means
expression. I
yes,
shall keep it with
actually means
myself.
yes, means if you get a house of music, you'd find that okay, this is the room. You got it with this person, and now the next room, the next room, the next room, and in every stage of the way we got to get the opportunity to get nurtured and get evolved as musicians, uh, we found those persons to be enriching us in every way, from fundamentals to aesthetic, the
Right.
aesthetic essence, the aesthetic beauty, the aesthetic understandings. So, means we can't compare, means we can't say, okay, this is how, means today, whatever you are getting from our music, it's an amalgamation of all their inputs, all their immense energy. Energy is really a word which I'm using because this art is empty without that.
Right.
You can't just learn things. You have to have that energy passed on to you from your guru,
Right.
and that
Was there
energy is
any
is the key.
difference in your perception of Apaji, as we all know her affectionately, as a guru, as opposed to as a subject for your film?
Yes, Appaji means we were more concerned about her journey as an artist. So she was really a born artist. This because
Right.
that that was the most important concern because we when we used to sit with her and learn every moment we used to feel like that how could she means every moment we used to feel like how could she do this, how could she sing these things and make us see that okay,
Right.
this is happening in front of you, just you can visualize. If you just close your eyes while listening to her, anybody can visualize with that okay, this is happening in front of you. So how could you do that? So that made us feel like that okay, something should be done on her. And the right moment, I got my she's my student also, but a very great follower of Appaji, Madhu Chandraji. So she came with a proposal that she wants to do something with whatever she got the good money after her retirement. She is a U.S. citizen, and so then my mother said, "Okay, why don't you guys do something on her, on Appaji? If
Right.
Madhuji wants to spend her money, then that should be historical." So it was her immense contribution. Madhuji helped her. Without her help, it would not have been possible. Actually, she put a lot of efforts, a lot of money, and that's why the film came out so nice and beautiful. It's a gem of a work. Everybody should look into it, and we got a very good team with our editor and associate director Sankal Meshramji, with our cameraman Nair Gufran, Prabal Bose, then also Partha Sarathi, Sanyal,
Right.
who was the sound man. So very sensible guys. Then we
Right.
got Mr. Ajay PB. He is a very topmost sound mixer. So means a lot of good people. Everything happened like as her wish, and we got to interview the stalwarts and the maestros, the god on earth, we would say, like Ravi Shankar ji and
Oh, wow.
Amjad Ali Khan Sahab, Birju Maharaj ji, Rajan Sajan ji, Kishori Amonkot ji, and who not, Abdul Rashid Khan Sahab, all these artists, amazing artists. So
Right.
it was a divine journey for us at the 4 years, 4.5 years. Yeah.
Wow. Absolute pleasure it must have been. You have learned Thumri and Tappa. in the Purab Ang style. What are the differences among various forms of Purab Ang Thumri, like, say, for example, Lucknow Thumri, Banaras Thumri, and Gaya Thumri? And how is the tappa of Banaras Gharana different from that of Gwalior Gharana?
Thumri is the element of Purabang only. I can't say about Gaya, I'm sorry, but in the Lucknow, the Awadhi form, which is known, which the style Begum Akhtar ji used to follow and she used to sing. So now, if I say prominently which comes up, it is the Banaras thing. So for the
Right,
Gaya, I'm aware, but whatever heard from during my fellowship, which I did on Tumri and Upaj's contribution, Vita Ganguly ji said that there are hardly differences in the approach of Srimati, Padma Shri Vidushri Rita Ganguly ji. So I
right,
interviewed her. She was telling me that there are hardly differences in the approach. Mostly the things you just get some maybe some bandishes and some of the very the ucharan, the pronunciation, the utterance can be a little bit of different and all. But if you listen to the renderings, they are mostly because even if you go to Banaras, if you listen to Mahadev Prasad Mishra ji, Pandit Mahadev Prasad
right,
Mishra ji, you'll find a difference with Gaiki of other of the contemporary artists during that period, right?
right,
So, and Appaji brought another approach to it. So, it's just not the gharana or the style, it's also the contribution of the individual himself or herself in any
right.
gharana, even if you listen to Khayal or all. So, particularly saying to Purabang, Purabang actually gives more things to the Therav, Sur ka Badhat, and
Wow.
where you can actually show the beauty of the words with the and the music.
Right,
Okay, so how much ornamentations, how much thera, how much lagav, sur lagav, how much means whatever the elements you are using, how much is needed in which lyrics. So Appaji did a specific uh, work on that, and she avoided a lot of like uh, supporting things like hare, hore. She did
right,
that
right.
very rarely. Like Appaji, you would listen to her predecessors, you would get a lot of Ari thing. Then, like if I sing something, कौन अलबेले किनार झमाझम
Uh-huh.
पानी भरे रे अरे कौन अलबेले किनार झमाझम
Uh-huh.
पानी भरे रे अरे अलबेले अलबेले. So she won't do this much of ha or ari or this thing. She would do like अलबेले किनार कौन 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 अलबेल किनार जमा जम जमा
Uh-huh.
जम sorry पानी भर रे. So these are the simple things. So where to need, where you should put the tal, where you should put the mead, where we should actually do some sort of behlawa, where we should make some sort of heavy elements also. Like jama jam jama jam jama jam. Even if you listen to Siddheswari, you'll find a lot of tankaris and also other artists. So, but she made those in other way more meaningful. So, kaun albele kinar jhamajam. I have heard a lot of people singing kaun albeli kinare jhamajam. It's not kaun albeli kinare. It's albele means a handsome
Oh, okay.
person's handsome individual, handsome man's wife. Albele ki nar. Nar means the lady, wife. Okay.
Right,
Yes, I'm explaining. So kaun means whose wife is, whose who is the handsome guy who can have this beautiful lady? And she is actually pouring the pot with the water. So jama jam, jama jam, jama jam, jama jam,
Uh-huh.
jama jam. So jama jam is she is doing this. One has to understand with the lyrics that okay, and then the next part of the song in the antara it's saying hathe lejuria kandhe gagaria. So lejuria means the rope. So when you actually you have seen people taking water out of the well. So we do like with the rope, right? So it becomes
Right.
very fast. So that's why hathe lejuria kandhe gagaria, or some used to sing also peethe gagaria, but kandhe we learned like kandhe gagaria. Baki chitwan se ghayal kareri. So
Right.
she's taking the water at the same time. She's giving such a glimpse or such a stare that she's making all of us mad. You know.
Right.
So whose wife is that? So that is the question. It's not albeli. It's albele ke kinare. So that's an it's something about envy, and somebody's getting jealous that whose lady is that whose means whose beloved is she. So like that, you know.
Right. Right. And this kind of sahitya is predominantly used in Tumri.
Yes, means Tumri has got a dialect which we call the word. The lyrics are mostly in Braj, Awadhi, also Khari. There was an ancient one you'd find in like Dingle also. But the Bhojpuri which we learnt is from Banaras mostly. I don't know if
Right.
Gaya has got a different sort of. There must be some bandishes I'm unaware, so I can't say about it. I shouldn't
Right.
comment, but I would be happy to get enlightened. Definitely, if you get some knowledge, you please pass on to me. But whatever I came to understood that this is the thing, that's because from Banaras everything moved up. When we interviewed Pandit Ravi Shankar ji during the film, he said that when the Darbar of Kashi actually got scattered, artists started moving here and there in other places. Yeah. So
Right.
uh, that from that point, a lot of things moved. Like you were talking about Tappa. So Shori Mia was uh, a resident of Ayodhya.
Right.
From there, he went to learn this form, which he developed. Means he didn't learn it. He actually learned it from the camel drivers of the Sindh and Punjab border, and then he made it classical another way. He definitely went through a lot of changes and things. So so it came to Banaras, and then from there it moved on. As we learned in that, as you asked, that what is the difference between the Gwalior style and the style of Banaras? In Banaras,
Right.
we generally break the things after 5 notes. We don't take us apart.
Acha.
Yeah. Okay. And
Okay.
we don't take saparts. We take saparts in tap khayal, not in tappa. And we don't
Okay.
stand on the notes. Like if I sing a tappa, where like miya nazare nahi aanda ve. So मियां नजर नहीं आदा. We won't do this. We do मियां नजर नहीं आदा वे. It will come like this.
Wow.
Ve. We won't do this type of support. Ve मियां नजर नहीं आदा ve. So that we call it dhai dana, ded dana. That has to be maintained properly.
Kya
So
baat.
for that, you need to actually break on. Means in tap khayal, we blend the khayal style while doing the vistas, and then we can add uh, the tappa elements in the tappa tans and all. So this is the
Right.
main difference. Yeah.
The Banaras Gharana has some rare forms of bandishes that are not heard anywhere else, like Chanda Prabandha, Dharu, Taprubai, Gulnaksh, and so on. Kindly demonstrate a few of these for our audience, because I can see that I personally would like to listen to you sing, actually, no matter how much I like to listen to you answer my questions. But a singer, a musician's, an artist's uh, core is in his singing, right? So can we have some more of it?
You know, uh, if technically I speak, we are not allowed to perform those very just randomly, and
Oh, I see.
like means that was in the Gharanas thing, and Upaj also maintained throughout. But I can tell you in the top, as I say, as you asked, I can give you a little bit of examples. Like if I say uh, in Taprubai. So in Taprubai, what happens? The it came from the Rubaiyat. The mostly the compositions are in Farsi, and we add the tappa elements over that with that. Like if I say नजर दौलत आई ये बाहर नजर दौलत आई ये बाहर खिले सबा गुल ओ फूल नरगिस लला हजार नजर दौलत. This is in Adana Bahar.
Arana Bahar.
And yes, so in the pronunciation of the things, you could understand that I'm saying Khile Sabah Gul Fool, not Fool. So that Fool is from Farsi. It's not Fool, as we say, right?
Right.
Dargis lala hazar ha nazar dolat. So this is Taprubai. So this has got long antaras. So this is the style where the poetry is very important here.
Right.
And what happens in Prabandh, like I learned from my mother also one Prabandh. It was like हे अम्ब जगदम्ब हे अम्ब जगदम्ब अविलंब आवो हे अम्ब जगदम्ब हे अम्ब जगदम्ब अविलंब आवो है बरसत मन जद गन गणना dara da dara 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 dara. So the words goes like this. So it these are means I'm sorry means I can't sing everything in that way because of some restraints. So and in while when we learned with Appaji the in the Gul Naksh what happens that Gul word comes up. Gul Kunda. So in the Gul Kunda, so this Gul word will always be there. So there also the style of rendering is mostly connected and mostly close to the tappa.
Right.
Okay, and that very thing with that rendering, you just have to understand and keep the tempo with the lyrics, with the poetry. The poetry is very important because that's also in Farsi, you
Right.
know. So those are the things, and dharu is a form which used to be sung while it is mostly composed by Gopal Naik ji. So it is like to charge you when you go to the war.
Oh, I see.
Yes, so it is actually it gives you a push. The chal of it uh, gives you a different level of push to go to the war and to get ready for the enemies to start the fight. You
Okay.
understand? So
Okay. I see.
these are particular things which are which makes things very intricate, very different. But as I said, that there was some restraint because we learned a lot of things after we got the Ganda Bandhan. So
Right.
there are Appaji was very, very, very strict about uh, this tradition that beta kahin par bhi kuch bhi mat ga dena. ठीक है? So
Okay.
as I said that just okay to listen, make you listen this gul the gul naksh gul khunda bulbul chehchehar mein jatnar kumre sarvara bajaye khurdam do bahar mugh mein chamshi saye. So now this. So you see the words are not the words you generally listen in any
Right.
like kumri sarvada bajaye khurdam. Khurdam is an instrument, but you'd get these things in the Parsi thing, you know. And so
Right.
there are also in Taprubai or in this Gulnaksh, we got some Sanskrit words also.
Okay.
Yes. So and those are really precious things. So and you get to do those and get to sing those means I would say means those are mostly very फरमाइशी चीज means अप्पा जी would say that बेटा कहीं पर भी मत गाना कोई कभी चैलेंज करे ना तो वहां पर ये करना जैसे
Right.
धुआं पर उदित रे धुआं पर उदित रे धुआं पर उदित this is like dharu means धुआं पर उदित रे उद्धार रे प्रतिपन्न रे तू चलत गिरि डगमगत रे you get the words so everything
Right.
is getting trembling out of fear you are coming so you know so like that धरती और आकाश रे so शहंशाह जलाल शाह जुज्जार शाह like this you know so
Right.
these are the dharu forms means which used to be performed so Gopal Naik ji mostly the compositions are by Gopal Naik ji.
Right. The little that you demonstrated, we are thoroughly enjoying ourselves for that. Now, you have
Thank you.
also enhanced your repertoire by collecting traditional bandishes from Pandit Kumar Prasad Mukhopadhyay and Pandit Vijay Kichlu of the Agra Gharana. Tell us about that experience.
As I said you that everybody enriched my mind in their way.
Right.
And so when I went to Kumar Babu gave immense insights, and he always used to say that there should be surprise in your music, always. Means people shouldn't be predicting what you are going to perform and what you are going to do next. Okay, अभी ये गा रहे हैं, so इसके बाद ये होगा, अभी तो तान करेंगे, अभी ये करेंगे, अभी वो करेंगे, you know.
Right.
So और क्या तान करेंगे, कैसा करेंगे, everything means what you are going to do, how you are going to present, what you are going to means. If there is no surprise element, you don't get to that point of aha, you know. You
Right.
find
Exactly.
everything wow, very nice, very good, kya baat hai, very good. But that aha comes with that surprise element when you are awestruck with the thing, with the element. Oh, I didn't expect that. How could this come?
Right. Right.
So you know that makes the. So it was the greatest insight by him. Yes, I got him only for 4 months, but he used to love me a lot because he used to love Samanway a lot. So thanks to him, means whatever he's shown, it is just means we can't express it with words. Means I can't express it. He would ask, "Ki shunbe aaj?" So like that, you know, it was never like a class. It was never. It was like that he's trying to give our mind a different sort of blow. Okay, buddy, just turn it that way. This is how we should think. And when I got the opportunity to learn with Pandit Vijay Kichluji, it was very disciplined every way. He was very means very formatted and very tight. That okay, if you are doing this, because that was another experience that you have to have this inside the purview. You must have to do this inside this. तान है तो यहाँ पे खत्म करो एकदम. तान ऐसा है, the तान should be coming, and people should be feeling that okay, you are finishing the तान. Okay,
Right,
so
right.
like that. And the
Very
bandish is
methodical.
also whatever, yeah, very methodic. And I'm unfortunate to get his tutelage. I developed a lot of things under him. And so that was another thing. And to tighten, to confine, to make things richer, to understand the beauty of the bandish, and to explore the beauty inside the bandish to understand the raga. I'm fortunate to get the Gyan Prava scholarship. For because of that, I got the insights, and which I called the Sannidhya
Right.
also, to be with Pandit Ramashri Jhaji, your Guruji, Pandit Ullas Kasilkarji. I'm a great fan of him. I keep on listening to him.
Oh, thank
And
you.
yes, amazing artist. Though, but I'm not directly learning with him, but I learn with him, I would say.
Right.
And lot of things means it's an unexplored version. And I wish to listen to every artist that way. I got a lot of telephonic insights by Pandit Ramashri Jhaji. It
Oh,
was
wow.
definitely an experience, yes, yeah, and lot of experience. I used to call him, and he had answers for everything. Never
Right,
he
right.
got
Absolutely.
tired of telling anybody, because he knew so much. He never felt like that. Okay, I should hide this. No, means okay, beta, tum ga sakte ho, karo, like this. So that was another thing, and I kept on listening to a lot of artists. I still listen to amazing artists every day, and yes, I
Right.
learned that composition, Allah, oh Allah, Jalle Shan Allah, from him. The first composition from
Jab
on
tak
Bhairav
bhairav.
with Pandit, yes, from Pandit Vijay Kisluji, and then Kanha Bhar Bhar Mare of Agra, that style. And I listened to it from Kumar Babu and earlier, but later I learned it from Pandit Vijay Kisluji. So, and many more things means I don't know if I would be able to do proper justice in one birth. Whatever I learned from my gurus means it's so
Right.
much to do, so much to present, so much to study, so much to means one life is really small.
Right. About your gurus, see, I had prepared all my questions beforehand, but last night a little bird told me that you have started learning Drupad from Pandit Uday Bhavalkar. So, shall we have a revelation today from you on this matter?
Yes, definitely. I have been learning with him, and I'm fortunate to get his tutelage. Amazing man, amazing human being, amazing soul, so joyous, so happy. Means I would say that because of the pandemic, I haven't means I have met him in SRA earlier before he accepted me as his student. But I have been learning online thanks to this online platform, thanks to all the digital era. So
Right.
grateful to that. So I'm getting his insights, his tutelage, and I'm enriching myself with that genre. Yeah,
Right.
it's
Thanks to
it's
coronavirus
it's
as
a
well.
great. Thanks to coronavirus as well. Yeah, we should be finding the good things behind anything bad. Means if we keep on just looking and peeping through the bad things, means we would be completely lost. You
Right.
know. Yeah.
You're very serious about imparting training to the future generations. What should be the approach taken when teaching little children compared to teaching adolescents or young adults? What are the common mistakes that you find that your students are making, and how do you help them overcome those mistakes? Any tips for youngsters in general?
In general, for youngsters, I would suggest that listen before you try to do something. Listen, which I find even with my students, that in halfway they start singing. While if I say something, so the better listener you are, the better student you become. So the phonetics actually gets inside your CNS. So listen very minute things, whatever you are being told, even the untold things. Because
Right.
when a person or an individual, a guru sings, he can't explain everything with words. You have to listen very minutely. Means this is, I'm telling about the means the adult people, means who have developed some senses after a while. And for the little kids and all, I would say the parents should be patient,
Right.
and they should actually encourage their kids to learn properly. And at least, if even if they don't understand or they don't know music, they should be guiding, or they should be uh, present at the class to understand what is that's also their learning. It's not only the kids learning.
Right. Very
So
important.
that they can at least uh, make their kids, even if, at least say that, okay, no, you are not doing this right thing. Guruji said or sir told this somewhere, somewhat different, you know.
Right.
So this is very important. And don't get distracted, because now the era is so, there is so much of things happening everywhere. You get to listen to him, you get to listen to them, you get to listen to this, you get to uh, you know, you get to listen to everything. So you have to you have to be uh, means confined to a particular path.
Right.
After a proper uh, and strong strengthened fundamentals, foundation, then you move, then you are open. As someone wrote that, yes, it's not a confinement of the soul, it's the confinement of the body, means for the corona situation. So yes, we and in learning also, your mind should be open to take things, but at the same time, it should have a discipline that, okay, I
Right.
have to follow this. You can't get distracted today. Okay, I'm practicing this today. Okay, now I should go to the next one. No. Or, okay, he's saying this, so I should practice it. No, you just follow as you are being told.
Right.
You follow that, you do that, you practice that, you would reach to a point. And then after that, uh, a Sadguru will always give you that insight to look beyond.
Right.
And then you
Absolutely.
can actually definitely go beyond whatever insights he has given you, because he gives you that insight. He opens your mind to look beyond whatever you are being told. But for that, you have to give that very time, that very tenure. Means you can't just do it in like this.
Yes. Absolutely.
You may divide your time of practice. Definitely, you have this, you have assignments, you have school, you have college, you have this and that. You divide it. You have been given your mind, your intelligence, so you can use that
Right.
to divide it. Okay, I get half an hour. Okay, half an hour, I practice this my voice culture thing.
Right.
And okay, I get another half an hour. Okay, you practice the sur bithao. Okay, half an hour.
Right.
Half an hour I practice the tan, the technicalities. Because until and unless you do the technical enrichment, until you get to a point of that technical enrichment, you can't reach to a level of where you can create something which we call real music, which we
Right.
call the aesthetic. Means you can't explore the aesthetic beauty of it. Means
Right.
you are thinking, but you are not able to execute that. How do you develop? How do you evolve as an artist? You
Right.
must have to
Absolutely.
have a very good technical excellence. So, and get to that point. Whereas you are a vocalist or an instrumentalist. Now I have seen a lot of instrumentalists or sitar students, or means, because I'm talking about sitar because I'm close to a sitar person, so I
Right.
listen to sitar that way. Means even kids are trying to do some lot of strong means and all, listening to somebody. Don't go to that. You learn the technical forms first. For the even for the vocalist, if you are being told to do this, just go to do this sapat practice. You go to do this bandish 100 times. You go to do a thera on the sur properly. You know,
Absolutely.
you can't just jump across everyone, like, because your mind is a monkey after all. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
Yes. It loves to jump across here and there, but you are the one who can control. The more patient you get, the easier it becomes to you. the faster it comes to you.
Right.
So that is the thing, and that it is just not the kids. The parents have to practice this.
Right.
I'm not asking anybody, any parents, to stop dreaming about, okay, my kid will be this and my kid will, okay, you dream, but at least give him that support so that he can learn well. Give him
Right.
that time. If somebody is studying engineering or medical science or anything, like Anirban is studying, he's doing a PhD. So he has gone through a process to reach to that point, right?
Right.
So uh, a, a, a a student of music should have to go through that process. It's not that easy.
Right.
It's not that
Absolutely.
easy. Whatever you sing, I'm not telling that, okay, you must have to do classical, you must have to do, because another myth means, I should say, that people say that classical enriches, classical does this. Yes, classical music is the base, but if you do it wrong, if you do the elements, yes, there are elements in classical vocal music or any classical forms which actually develops, but if you don't know how to practice those, if you do those wrongly, you are going to also hurt yourself, hurt your voice, hurt your fingers, hurt your hand, whatever you call it.
Right.
So you have
Absolutely.
to know the elements and the science behind it, the form to practice and to do this properly.
Right.
So it's not classical, it's the elements behind it. Then you sing whatever you want,
Right. Right.
you know? Yeah.
We also need to know our bodies, because what works for somebody else might not work for me.
Yes, that may, but there are basic things which works for everyone.
Right. Absolutely.
There are some basic things which works for everyone, and to decide upon what works for me, it may not work for the other person. It comes after a few chapters.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, after a few chapters, but you must, means, if you are learning that, okay, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, that is common, that has to be done,
Right.
that is must. And then if your mind is so, you can actually jump few chapters and go to the conclusion even, that's okay.
Right.
But for
The
that
basics
you
are the
have,
same.
yes, the basics are same, you must have to go through those, and then it may differ with your capability, with your intellect and all, you know.
Right.
Everybody has a different sort of mind. He and we all we all have come with some talents, something in with us, and then it's our duty to nurture it. Means it is your duty to nurture it and uplift. Wherever you are, from there, that point, you should uplift yourself. That's your duty too, everywhere.
Right. It was a pleasure talking to you, Debapriya. I thoroughly
Thank
enjoyed
you.
you as a guest. I hope you enjoyed me as a host. And
Yes,
I'm
I did.
grateful to you for agreeing to be a part of this interview.
Thank you. I'm really glad, and I hope I could do justice with your questions. And we all are evolving. So even if not, maybe after 10 years.
You have done justice and even more. You've
Thank you.
done more than
I'm glad.
justice.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for
And
everyone who watched. Thanks
yes,
to
and thank you.
everyone in the
Thanks
audience.
to everyone for being with us. Thanks to Anirban. Thanks to Sharnabo. Thanks to you. And with the last word, yes, we are the soul of free wills by Samanway. We are the souls of free wills, and we should actually use that after a point, that we are
Absolutely.
free. We are souls. We are individuals. So everybody, take care. Stay healthy. Keep loving yourself. Keep loving others. But
Absolutely.
first, love
Very
yourself.
important.
Definitely, then you would be able to love everybody else and spread more happiness through music. Thank you, Mishka. Good night.
I shouldn't be saying anything after that, because the guest's word should be the last word. To everyone in the audience, thank you for watching all throughout the interview. Uh, Take care, stay safe, good night, and goodbye.